Okay, let's take a look at our math problem that we have today, and we're going to use our Singapore math steps to solve this. There are 40 baseballs and basketballs in a gym. There are 12 more baseballs than basketballs. How many basketballs are in the gym? Let's take a look at that question. I see a question mark. It's here at the end. Let's reread it. How many basketballs are in the gym? So what we're looking for is how many basketballs. Let's write it as a statement. Let's write it in a color that you can actually see. How's this? There are blank. And what are we looking for? We're looking for basketballs. There are blank basketballs in the gym. So let's go back and ask the who and the what. Well, what is it that, there's no who in here, but let's look at the what. We have baseballs, and I'm just going to write base for baseballs, and we have basketballs. And I'm just going to write basket for basketballs. Let's go ahead and draw our unit bars. Let's draw 2 unit bars of equal length. And now let's go back and chunk our problem. There are 40 baseballs and basketballs in a gym. So these together equal 40. We don't know yet how many of each, but we're working toward that. Let's keep going. There are 12 more baseballs than basketballs. So let's look at that again. 12 more baseballs. So here's my baseballs. I'm going to take a chunk off of here and call this 12. I'm going to also chunk this off and get rid of this part right here. This part for the basketballs don't exist. This part and this part are equal. We don't know how many yet. These are equal, this number of baseballs to this number of basketballs, and there, whatever this is 12 more than the basketballs. Now we're wanting to know how many basketballs. This is the big question we're looking for right here, but we can't find it out until we find out this portion right here. So we have our whole here, and we have a little part. Let's start by taking our 40 that we have and subtract, let's take off this amount, 12 of those extra baseballs that are more than the basketballs. 40 minus 12, let's start with our tens column, 0 minus 2, I can't do it. Go over to the 4, borrow from it, make it 3. The one I took from there, I put with this 0. This now becomes 10. 10 minus 2 is 8, and 3 minus 1 is 2. Okay, well now all that tells me is that I have 28 baseball and basketballs. Some of them go here, and some of them come over here. Okay, so I have 2 different types of balls, a basketball and a baseball, and there's 28 of them. I have to take those 28 and divide them into 2 different categories. Some of them are basketballs, some of them are baseballs. So 28, divide them into 2. 2 will go into 2 one time. 2 times 1 is 2. I subtract. There's no difference between these numbers. I bring down the 8. 2 will go into 8 4 times. 2 times 4 is 8. I subtract. There's no difference. So what this is telling me, there's going to be 14 baseballs, 14 basketballs. But that's not really quite true because I have 14 baseballs, but then it says I have 12 more baseballs than basketballs. So that's why we started out with the equal number unit bars there, but this here at the end showed me that it was 12 more. Now the question is, how many basketballs are there? Well, there I can clearly see that we have 14 basketballs in the gym. What if it asked you how many baseballs were in the gym? Well, then I would take these two numbers, 14 plus the 12, to find out how many baseballs I had. We were looking for how many basketballs? We have 14 basketballs in the gym.